episode 4 of
Beyond
Z
Trailer. All right, so yeah, we're going to jump right into it with Eric. Eric, what are you talking about this week?
I'm going to talk about the mid-season finale of Era this week. It was insane. If any of you have not watched it, I suggest turning your computer off right now.
Wait a minute.
Or just mute it and watch the rest of this episode.
You're about to talk about this season finale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm later.
All right. Bye, Matt. You guys should, follow him and leave if you haven't seen it. Ra's al Ghul comes on this episode, and it's insane. Now, if you haven't seen it, that sucks for you. But if you have seen it, you were probably like me at the end of the episode and stood there on the couch for 5 minutes with your mouth open. So Arrow goes to some sort of cliff, I'm not even sure, but to fight Ra's al Ghul to the death. To the death. What other show does that? On top of a cliff, Arrow, Ra's al Ghul. Now here's the thing. You think Arrow's gonna beat him, but then he dies. Ra's al Ghul sticks a sword through his chest, kicks him off the mountain, and that's it. Now we have to wait until January to see what happens next. I mean, obviously they're gonna bring him back, and with Ra's al Ghul in this, the Lazarus Pit's gonna come in.
Can't have him without some type of resurrection. That's his whole gimmick. I mean, they didn't really use it that much in the Batman movies. If you just know basic Batman, to know that, but because for the Batman games, cartoon, then you know that that's probably what's going to happen with resurrections in his future.
Shane, do you watch Arrow?
I do not, so I can't really comment. I know the history on the comics and stuff, but I have not seen the show. It's one of those things that, like the other things like Horrible Bosses, like everything, I got to catch up on. I just don't have the time.
Fail. Still has not seen Horrible
You
Bosses.
call yourself a geek.
What was that, 3 weeks ago, Shane? Spoiler is done, Matt.
The spoiler alert is over?
You can come back.
I'm back.
Yes.
Shane, you got something to talk about?
Alright, this week, I know there was no episode of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but something was pointed out by one of our viewers that Trip, who, spoiler alert, died in the last episode, he petrified and then he crumpled away like the other victims of the obelisk, but someone pointed out that he is seen on set of Avengers Age of Ultron filming a scene. That's supposed to take place after Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so what's going on? Is he resurrected? Is he a life model decoy for people that know the comics?
Are you sure it wasn't the Falcon? Was it the Falcon, maybe?
No, it's pictures, yeah.
BJ Britt.
So it really was.
Yeah, so if you guys have any theories, post them down in the comments below. We'd love to hear from them, because we just don't know.
They probably felt bad about killing the only black guy on the show.
No, there's
another black guy up there
in the background.
Brandon!
Okay, this guy. Ninja Turtles came out on DVD Tuesday, which was yesterday. Well, if you see this in a couple of days from now, it was a week ago. A lot of people, when it first came out, it was very controversial. Some people hated it, some people liked it. It was a good movie. I enjoyed the story. I had no real quarrels with it at all, other than the appearance of the turtles. They looked like the mother turtle had a baby with a Shrek. They had really big nostrils, which was really outputting. They looked just terrible, horrendous.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
just
look like turtles.
yeah.
They were kind of big.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Shreks is what they were. But other than the actual physical, facial differences from the cartoon and the comics, their height was also one of my biggest complaints. They were bigger than the Foot Clan. They were bigger than any of their opponents. Where's the fairness in that? I mean, yeah, they're good guys versus bad guys, but when your good guys are so massively huge and already intimidating, all the bad guys, takes away the threat factor. Either way, I enjoyed the movie. It was a nice little reboot, but some of the graphics they used on the actual turtles looked very... This was probably, in my opinion, the worst use of CGI.
I am so glad you said that.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I got the same feeling when I watched The Incredible Hulk, the one with Ed Norton. It seems like it's the same company that did the same special effects for the Turtles. It wasn't believable. It wasn't believable. Now, the Hulk that was on the Avengers looked believable.
Yeah.
But those Turtles, they didn't look believable. It looked cartoonish.
Oh, yeah.
The only reason I even went to go see that movie is because Alan Ritchson, who is from Blue Mountain State, was Raphael, and he was doing the voice and the motion capture work, which is a hell of a lot of work. I'd give him props for that. Like you, I didn't enjoy the CGI effects, but it's whatever. I got a little bit of Thad for any of you Blue Mountain State fans out there.
At least we have to see Megan Fox's thumbs.
Oh, those big toe thumbs. But she's still hot. It's kind of like that Seinfeld episode where the woman had the man hands. Okay, who's next? next? Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
It's your turn. All right. Well, it's my turn. So let's talk about the GOP. And do anyone know it, class? We're going to do a pop quiz. What does the GOP stand for?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, Guardians of
Peace.
Peace. Yes. Those are the guys that hacked Sony, the email. Spider-Man is going back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, according to some of the rumors, which would be awesome. Now, I've done a little research since I last talked with you guys about this, and Curls, that is a 60-40 split, right? And the reason why it would work, some of the rumors are going on out there, is because Marvel would have to take care of 60% of the cost when it comes to producing the movie, but they would get 60% of the profit. And you're like, well, that's a bad deal for Sony. Well, Sony didn't get that much of the, merchandising? Was it something like that?
Yeah.
And now they would get some of that, so that's how they went out with that. Plus, you got Marvel making your movie, so you're going to make money.
And Sony needs everything they can get
Yeah.
right now because over the past week,
Something's happened. The interview,
they
because
are not so peaceful anymore.
yeah. So let's talk about this GOP, because the whole hack happened supposedly, according to some rumors again, because of that movie, The Interview, and it upset a world leader. I'm not going to mention his name because he's not to be messed with. Apparently, this movie, The Interview, if you hadn't seen it, you won't, because it's not going to be released. I think Sony
Anywhere.
pulled the movie.
Yeah, Sony
No.
pulled the entire movie.
Not even on DVD.
I
Maybe
don't
so.
know as far as
I
that.
don't even know if I'll rent that movie. It comes out on DVD. Maybe they can find out if you're watching
It's
it.
going to be one of those forbidden movies that no one gets to see, except in the editing
We're
room.
probably finding that at comic conventions.
Yeah.
The bootleg version.
Yeah.
versions.
It
I
is
think this was just an elaborate plan to get Spider-Man back.
and it's
I
working.
agree.
It's
I
working.
said that last week.
All right, so now let's do View It or Boo It. So, movies coming out this week. I'll ask some of these guys. What's coming out this week?
This week coming out, tomorrow or Thursday, Annie is premiering and Night at the Museum. 3.
Okay, let's do Annie first.
The original or the new one?
It's a musical, isn't it? I'm just going to go ahead and say, I know hate's a strong word, but I absolutely hate musicals. The last musical I watched was the first Annie. So being that I watched the first Annie, I figured I'd do the reboot Annie. So I'm going to watch it. I'm going to view it. I'm going to view this Annie. What about you, Shane?
I'm going to view it just because I'm interested in how their spin on this story is. I always like when they do remakes or different incarnations of it. I like to see how they're taking it in a new direction. So I'm going to view it just for that. Not too thrilled about it, but I'm going to view it.
I,
Eric?
for one, am not going to view it. Did not enjoy the first Annie. Did not enjoy it as a musical, and will not enjoy it this time around. I don't care what they've changed. It's still the same thing, and honestly, I don't want to see Cameron Diaz sing.
But Will Smith and Jay-Z are the executive producers on this movie.
That doesn't change it.
Brandon, are you going to view it or boo it?
I'm going to go view it. I have friends growing up that were in theater, so I don't have this overwhelming hatred of musicals like you do.
I
but
do.
I
hate to
really
say
don't
it.
really like them. Like I sat through Little Abner in high school. I sat through. It doesn't really matter. I don't like musicals either, but it's Jamie Foxx, and I like Jamie Foxx. I'm gonna see the movie.
All right, so we're pretty much 50-50 split on this. Viewers, let us know what you guys' comments are in the bottom, and let us know what you think. Are you going to see it, or are you not going to see it?
We
View
wanna
it
know.
or boo it. Annie.
And this has been episode 4. We will be coming back to you next week with episode 5, so stay tuned for more information.